Hi everyone and welcome. Flip, it always happens. Okay. Hi everyone. Yeah. Okay. One second. Just
Do
giving.
it again once more. No problem.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that's supportive. She would have kicked me till now. Okay. Hi everyone and welcome to the Career Coach podcast. Today we're gonna have Piyush with us, who is a pilot. He is from Gwalior. He's done his pilot license in IGRUA, Raebareli. The full form of IGRUA is Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Udan Academy, and now he's in AirAsia as a trainee. Hi, Piyush.
This is a student administered program. Our aim is to offer information from other students who have recently graduated. None of this information is to be taken as advice. Nobody in this video or in the team is a guidance or career counselor, nor are we experts in the fields which we have chosen. We do not intend to look down on any career or academic path and hope these stories will be taken in the spirit in which they were said. Our experiences are personal and cannot be universally applied. We hope this video is helpful to whoever watches it and it equips you with some relevant insights. Enjoy.
Hi, Dhruv.
Hi. So let's start with when did you think of becoming a pilot, and how did you take the decision of becoming a pilot?
Okay, so my uncle, he was first a cabin crew, and it was actually basically his dream to become a pilot.
Wow.
So he was a cabin crew at first, and then he became a pilot. So from very young, I've been following his lifestyle, and we share a lot in common, and he's been taking care of me. So I used to always look forward to him. I used to look up to him always.
Okay.
So from when I was, I think, in fifth or sixth, that's when I started to I saw him. He used to go on flights and used to come back after every 3-4 days and used to come and tell me about what it was like, where did
Wow.
he land. I understood the very least, but it still got me excited. So yeah, that's how I always knew from the very beginning that I want to become a pilot.
Okay. So you took a decision very early on in life that you wanted to become a pilot and embark on this journey. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And with this clarity, you moved ahead. And I want to know, after your 10th, in your 11th and 12th, what stream were you in? And which stream is important to become a pilot, or you can be in any stream like science, commerce, and arts, and become a pilot.
Okay. So I had done my 10 plus 2 with
Okay.
physics, chemistry, and maths.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yes. So I think the basic requirement is you need physics and mathematics. These
Wow,
are your basic two requirements. Yes.
really?
So yeah. But if you have done it if you've done your 10 plus 2 from a commerce field,
Hmm.
so you can give these exams from an open school, and then there's a minimum requirement of 50% or 50 or 55. I don't know if that's changed, but around that margin, that is your least. That's a requirement to be admitted or to achieve your pilot's license.
And what exam do you have to give? And is it only for IGRUA where you studied, or is it for all the pilot training centers around India?
Okay, so IGRUA is, I think, one of the very few institutes that you need to give an exam for. NFTI in Gondia, that for that you have to give an exam, and for all the cadet programs. Okay,
Okay, okay.
okay.
And
For
what exam is this?
okay, so IGRUA, it's the IGRUA entrance test. What
Oh,
I gave, yeah. So it comes around April. You apply for it around April, just after you've gotten your results, right?
okay.
Yeah, you apply, you give it. Yeah,
Okay. So just right after 12th, and you apply for IGRUA and you give the exam. What
correct.
subjects are there in the exam that you have to study for?
Okay, so exam is basically it's maths and physics and mental reasoning and very basic reasoning.
Okay.
Okay, very little of chemistry. That's
Oh,
from what I remember, very little. So
yeah.
like even if you don't have that subject, uh, giving the entrance exam should not be a problem for you.
Okay. So you'll manage
Okay,
without having the subject of chemistry also.
yeah, without chemistry, but physics, maths, your English,
Yeah.
and reasoning.
Okay.
These are the four main subjects. Yeah.
Subjects. Okay. Okay. So now we've given the test. We've been selected, and we're in IGRUA now. And how long course is it? How many years does it take to complete the course?
Okay, there is no defined time period for this.
Okay.
Um,
That's new.
what IGRUA, yeah, that's new. What IGRUA says is a 2 years period, but again, this varies a lot depending upon your personal performance. Okay, there are a lot of things that influence your flying and the conditions, be it
Correct.
the weather, be it the maintenance, okay, be it the availability of aircrafts.
Okay.
Because in IGRUA we have like 400 to 500 students and only 20 aircrafts, 22 aircrafts. So
Oh,
you can feel the ratio, right?
yeah.
And then you have weather. You're only permitted to fly in certain weather. The
Acha.
weather conditions are very harsh. Monsoon gives you a lot of trouble. Winters give you a lot of trouble.
Okay.
So keeping that in account, it varies. The people who've completed in the GRUA itself, they've completed in 1.5 years, and some have taken a bit much longer. You have five papers that you have to give. Okay,
Okay.
in
Okay.
between. So if you have to, some people lag behind because they've not cleared all their papers. So
Hmm.
that's what's stopping them basically.
Okay.
Okay.
And so now what's coming to my mind is if it's a 1.5 year program minimum, or it can take up to 2 3 years also, considering
Correct.
your passing and your tests and all. So is it a degree or is it a license?
It's a license purely. It's
It's
not
a
a
license,
degree.
not a, it's not
Yeah.
a,
Yeah. So basically, we are completing our flying hours and we finish our exams just so we can achieve our commercial pilot's license.
okay. And is it important for you to have a degree to become a pilot, or you can become a pilot without a degree also?
As I told you, the minimum requirement for becoming a pilot is 10 plus 2, you're 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is no requirement for a degree. Like if
Okay.
you have that, that's beneficial in your career. It's gonna help you out somewhere, but it's not a compulsion.
Okay. Awesome. So now, yeah, again we come back to your time in IGRUA, and so what does the typically what does the first year look like? Okay, what are the okay what does the syllabus look like instead of the first year, and what are the examinations looking like, and what are the tests and flying lessons and practicals and whatever are involved looking like in becoming a pilot?
Okay, so basically the 2 years in IGRUA, right?
Huh.
Yeah. So the first 6 months when you go to IGRUA, it is the ground training phase.
Okay.
Okay, ground training. So that's basically when they take care of your theory. You study the theory about flying and the weather and the aircraft. So the
Yeah.
first 6 months is focused on your ground training.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, which is divided into 5 subjects, and they have a timetable and everything per se, which we have to follow. And after the completion of 6 months, we have a final test. Just like
Okay.
in any other college, we have a
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah.
And again, there's a minimum requirement, which is of 70 out of 100.
Wow. So it's not 40% like in colleges, or 35.
Eh, yeah. That's I think that's one thing that's very different in our field than compared to the other fields. That the minimum requirement is 70. Even later on, this is an internal exam. What I'm talking
Yeah.
about right now, this is more of an internal exam.
Okay.
So for even this and even for the external exam, the minimum requirement is a 70 out of 100.
Oh, okay. It's 70%.
Yeah.
Okay. And the
So we've done our 6 months of ground training.
yeah,
We give our exams.
yeah,
Okay. Hopefully we clear it,
yeah.
and then we start off flying.
Oh, so after 6 months you're flying an aircraft.
Yeah. First of all, we start with our
Okay.
simulators. So we have to do about 10 to 15 hours of simulator.
Every week, month, or how?
Okay, that distribution is, again, it depends upon the availability of the
Simulator.
instructors, availability of
Oh.
the simulators. So it varies a lot.
Okay.
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 So yeah, a bit confusing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it varies a lot depending upon how free the simulators are. But I think a month would be fair enough. A month for completion of your simulators, 10 to
Okay.
15 hours.
Yeah.
So you can expect at least alternate days
one hour.
to 1 hour per day, and then you have a hour of simulator today, so tomorrow's a holiday, and then day after again. Then there's a simulator check.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this, like basically, I was just studying theory till now, and now they want us to be familiarized with the aircraft. So they tell us all about the aircraft, how it works. I mean, yeah, you know where all the buttons are and how to fly the aircraft,
Yeah.
and how to do a exterior inspection,
Correct.
and all kind of things.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's what they teach us for the 10 to 15 hours, and at the end of the 10 to 15th hour, the last hour of our simulator is a check again. Okay, have you been performing well? Yeah, it's a check again. So I'm going to be using this word a lot, don't worry. So they check if you're proficient enough, if you're good enough, you can do it well, and hopefully again you're good at it, and then that's when you go to actual flying.
Wow.
Now is when you are first introduced to your aircraft, and then so the first hour is air experience, which is the first time you enter in the aircraft. So basically, in that flight, you're just there's an instructor who teaches you. He'll be sitting on your on the right, and you'll be on the left seat.
Okay.
In the cockpit. Yeah. So the first flight is basically about. He'll just show you the controls. He'll let you feel the controls. Maximum, he'll let you do a takeoff, and he'll give you a good feel of the aircraft. So the first hour is mostly fun and games, but then from there onwards, then we have a very categorized flying curriculum, you can say.
Okay, so let's sum it up again.
Yeah.
So you're having 6 months theory, 1 month simulator.
Correct.
And then you go on to fly aircrafts with the instructor.
Yes.
Yes. Is there a time after this, you get to fly an aircraft alone during a...
Yes.
You do
Yes,
get to...
we do.
Okay.
Obviously, yes, you do.
And
so
take off and land and everything.
Yeah, they teach us everything. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So
okay, and okay, one more question. When you're flying an aircraft alone, is it like there's no one else in the plane except you?
Yes, there's no one in the plane except us. They teach you to take off and to land in these.
Okay.
So it's about 15 hours of circuit and landing. And then after that, again, if they see if you're capable enough, if you're confident enough, then you get to fly solo.
Oh, okay. So, okay. And after that, is there anything else left in the course? Are there any examinations to give or anything?
Okay. So while you're doing this, you have to give 5 exams, which are held by DGCA. Meteorology, navigation, technical general, technical specific, and regulations. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the 5 exams, and there's a RTR exam.
RTR
as well. Yeah. Okay. So all of these exams, you have to apply for them and pass them before you finish your flying, and you give your documents to the DGCA.
Flying records, the documents that you're giving to the DGCA.
Very good. Right. Correct. So that's a flying records, where we've flown, how much we've flown. Yeah. They tally everything, and it should sum up to 200 hours. That's the requirement for a commercial pilot's license.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's 200 hours of training. And by the time we finish our 200 hours of training, we should have given the 5 exams plus the RTR exams, passed all of them. And then we submit their passing certificate along with the documents that validate our flying hours and everything.
What are okay, you've become a pilot now. You've become a commercial pilot now.
Sorry.
What are the job opportunities today? Definitely, it's commercial flying. And what else can be a job opportunity for you?
Okay. So again, the mainstream which we all look to is becoming an airline pilot. Okay. That is the mainstream that we look to. Actually, have to wait for the company's requirements to come. When the company needs pilots, that's when they'll start hiring.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, the basic, the mainstream job we all work for is a airline pilot. Apart from that, you can become a flying instructor. You can become a ground instructor.
I'm sorry?
Okay. You can become a ground instructor.
Ground
Remember the first
instructor,
6 months I told you about
ground training.
where there was where they was teaching us 6 months of theory.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can come in dispatch. Again, there are a lot of like we have, I think, 15, at least 15 flying schools in India. You can become a dispatch. You can be in ATC.
ATC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Air traffic controller.
Yeah. What? Okay. So now you've got your pilot license, and maybe it's just your pilot license. Your 12th pass, and you've got your pilot license. Are there any available options for further studies?
No. The only thing you can do is we go on to further upgrade our license to ATPL. Okay.
ATPL.
Okay. ATPL. Okay. That's just a further upgrade to our license. But again, that has requirements, which is 1,500 hours, and again, a lot of small categories to follow.
Okay.
So, and again, a lot 3 or 4 papers you have to give.
Yeah.
3 or 4 exams. So the only thing you can do is you can complete your 1,500 hours with the airline or whichever flying school you're in, and you can apply for those papers, and you can clear those papers, and I think that's the most you can do. Then any other further upgrade to your job profile, that's all in the airline, so it's all internal after that.
Okay. And so let's get this ATP bit right. Why will a commercial pilot go for an ATPL license?
ATPL license, right? So, okay, when we first are inducted in a company, when we first start to fly, we fly from the right-hand side. So we are the co-pilot.
Okay.
So to become a captain, is also the pilot in command who holds the responsibility for the aircraft.
Yeah.
This is your minimum requirement. So you need an ATPL.
Okay.
ATPL, right? Again, what I was telling you about. So you need an ATPL to become a captain.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So once you get your ATPL license, you're available or eligible to become a captain in it?
Yes. Perfect. Very, very good.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So I think that is it, Piyush. Thank you so much for speaking with us and sharing your pilot experience with us. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
You all can reach out to Piyush anytime. He's really a great guy, and he's so generous. He's shared so much knowledge with us. He's taken out the time to do that with us. And I would also like you all to like, share, and subscribe this video. And please share this video with anyone who you think will be useful, this video will be useful and will help them in becoming a pilot maybe one day. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you, Piyush.